So here we are. We got me, Brock Silvershard. The basics about me: I'm a goblin. Uh, I'm so about my age. Yes, in goblin, I was a goblin teacher. That's exactly right. That's my background. um, so about my age, well, you might see that there are 3 digits there, but for all intents and purposes, we can just ignore that last zero. We could just say I'm 30. That's good enough. That's fine. 30 works for me. My birthday, which I consider the day that I was given my completed model. That's what I'm calling my birthday. It was about uh, just like 2 weeks ago or so. So I'm a newborn. June 27th. A couple more personal things about me. I identify as queer. Like, if you want to put a really fine point on it, I would say I'm bisexual, but usually I refer to myself as queer. And also, I was recently diagnosed with ADHD and anxiety. And that's part of why it took me a little bit to debut, even though I have had hands on my model for about 2 weeks. Like I said, it's just I was worried, like, oh, no one would come, no one would care. But I had to get over that. I had to do it sooner or later, and so I'm gonna have fun with it. I'm gonna do my best, and a lot. It seems like at least a few people care. You're all here, so that's exciting. So yeah. So here's my dramatic origin story. All good VTubers have to have one. Um, so Brock, that's me. It's from a secret underground goblin city, and I'm forbidden to tell you where it is or even whereabouts it might be. I may have left to pursue my VTuber dreams, but I won't reveal the secrets of my home to, humans. And not that everyone here is a human, certainly, but just in case this is on the internet, and so I have to be wary. So when I first learned of VTubers through Hololive, which I think specifically was through like Subaru, I watched Subaru play Grand Blue Fantasy and do her gotcha pulls, and pretty much get super lucky and embarrass my account. I said not everybody's a human, just said humans are gonna see this. That's all. I know there are a lot of VTubers that aren't humans, probably possibly more that aren't than are. But just in case, you can never be too careful. You gotta protect the family business. Um, so yeah, I found Subaru. I watched her embarrass me in Grand Blue Fantasy by getting every character during like every draw, every event draw, But then I went down the rabbit hole more, and I found Hololive English, so like Gura and Mori and Ame, and then I found the indie VTubers, like I think Jusagi Chan. A lot of you maybe know them. They were the first person I found, and that sort of led me to a whole greater VTuber community, which I've had a lot of fun with. But I found all that, and I told everyone at home, I was like, I'm going to become a VTuber. I'm going to be the first Goblin VTuber. And well, now that I'm out here, I know I'm not the first Goblin. But, I didn't know that at the time. So I said I'm going to be the first Goblin VTuber, and they told me it would never work. None of these VTuber agencies would accept a Goblin. Uh, but, I don't know if that's true, because the Hololive English members have a Shark and a Reaper. And that's just them. The indie community has so many more, really inspiring designs. A lot of other goblins. No problem, Cupid. Lurk all you need to. But yeah, there's a lot of other goblins. Any other, fantastical creature you could think of. I know one that's just a candle. I shouldn't say just a candle. They are a whole candle. That's awesome. Who would think of that? I didn't. So, I don't know if that's true, but whatever. They were, and here's let me step back a little first and say, I don't know what you all know about goblins, because there are a lot of like misconceptions about us. The Final Fantasy games especially have sort of maybe given people a a strange idea about goblins. You've got this guy, uh, and this guy, and you got this guy from Dungeons and Dragons, and like I mean, not to say that there aren't some clans of goblins that stick to the old ways. There certainly are. But a lot of us are pretty contemporary. We've got the internet, we've got video games, um, and we've got, just because we drink our soda cans from a tankard doesn't mean that we don't like all the same things and do all the same things as most people anywhere else do. But some of the some of those goblins in my home, they were stuck in their ways. And so I said, I'm leaving home. I'm going to become a VTuber. And well, now I've done it. And that's not to say that I'm done, that the dream is totally, that doing it was all that I wanted to do. But I'm here now and I'm going to have fun with it. Gosh dang it. All right. So there you go. That's a little bit about me. Um, what? And so, I do want to make sure I give credit to my artist, uh, my parent. They go by Nasterpank. They're on Fiverr, primarily. You can see their Twitter handle there, though. They did my model and my overall character design, the reference sheet that it was based on. So they did a really great job all around. And they were really nice and sweet to work with. So I just wanted to make sure I plug them, and that they get the proper credit because Brock looks great, and it's very much thanks to them. But so yeah, bedtime for me. Stayed up late to say congrats on the debut. Enjoy the rest of the stream. I will. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you staying up late to be here. It's very sweet. So yeah, Naster Paint, my artist, my rigger, my modeler, my everything. And so why did I want to become a VTuber? Well, I talked about it a little bit, getting into Hololive and all that. But I will say it kind of started originally as a joke. In my mind, it was like, oh, what if I did that? Wouldn't that be so funny? And sort of like, that's impossible to do. How could I do it? It costs so much. There's no way I could get picked up by a talent agency or what have you. That's sort of like my anxiety talking. But then once I saw people were doing it, like indie on their own, I was, a lot more encouraged. I figured out the steps I guess I had to take. Uh, yeah, I think you're right, Gloria. But yeah, I figured out, like, okay, maybe it's not so out of reach. And the good thing was I had some stuff already for streaming because I had already wanted to get into streaming again. And so, like, I already had a capture card. I already knew how to work OBS at least a little bit. I've learned a little bit more since then. But yeah, so just become. It was like two things. I found VTubers in general, and I wanted to get back into streaming again, and VTubing seemed like a really fun way to do it. So here I am, and of course I want. I think that one of the impetuses for streaming in general for everybody is always just to share their games. The games they like with people.